Hey guys, welcome to the MyBit DAO version 0.2 tutorial. Today we're going to go from having just a MetaMask enabled Ethereum address and taking it all the way to becoming a bona fide voter and proposer on the MyBit DAO, which is the ecosystem that's providing decision-making power to the users of the MyBit network. So let's start off by just ensuring we have our MetaMask all set up. So if you don't already have a MetaMask, just head over to MetaMask and their main website, which will provide you with the information and steps to have that installed on your browser. And it's a very easy and intuitive application to use. And so once we've got that all set up here, we can just ensure that we're on the Ethereum main network. And then if we choose, we can use an existing MetaMask that we have, or we can select create new account to have a designated MyBit DAO voting MetaMask account, and it's up to you whether you do that. So after that's complete, we just head over to the bottom left where we'll be able to enable our MetaMask and connect it with the DAO. I've already done that, so now that process is completed, now when I'm already logged on that associated Ethereum MetaMask account, it'll automatically link up and connect us. So now that we've done that, we just head over to My ID, and this is where we complete the process of verifying our identification and associating that identity with the Ethereum address we registered. So in order to do that, we hit request identity confirmation, and so this is the unique and sort of specially designed identity application for the MyBit DAO, which allows the ecosystem and the DAO constituents as a whole to verify new additions to the DAO. So the first step in this process is to take a picture of yourself with your Ethereum address written on a piece of paper below you. It doesn't have to be the whole address. You can just have the first and last 7 digits of the address written on the piece of paper. So after that, we just introduce ourselves with some basic information like our name and other various links that might support our claim to be our identity that we're registering. And along with that, any posts from the various different social media sites that will reference our use of that Ethereum address. And we encourage you to actually make a post in that sense during this process to support and speed up the process of verification for the DAO. Specifically on Twitter, if you want to tweet that Ethereum address to MyBit_DApp, that's at MyBit_DApp on Twitter, that will very much help the ecosystem reward you with a confirmation as quickly as possible. So after that's all done, you can click submit. Now that process is not necessarily a standardized controlled process, so it may take a couple of days for the community to verify your identity, but once that's complete, you can head over to My Tokens. Now this is where you can use your associated Ethereum address and your identity to lock Ethereum MyB tokens on the address. So just lock tokens here and lock ERC20. So this will be the MYB, MyB, or MyBit token. Those are interchangeable terms. And that's the native token to the MyBit network. So there'll be a stratification that you can use to lock your tokens. 1 MyBit for 1 month will give you 1 vote. And to receive incrementally more voting power, you can lock 100,000 MyBit tokens for between 3 months and 3 years. And this will scale from having an increase of 50% to 1.5 votes, all the way to having 13 total votes for the maximum multiplier. So once that's complete, you'll essentially now be able to make propositions and contribute to the consensus around propositions that have been made already by other users of the DAO that are specifically directed towards influencing the direction of the MyBit network. So we can state, for instance here, a question: should MyBit continue with the podcast? So this podcast, Blockchain Without the Fluff, was launched last week or a few weeks ago now, actually, and that's essentially a blockchain-based podcast that interviews other serious projects in the ecosystem of the blockchain world. And this is a decision that's been proposed to be made by the consensus of the community as to whether or not MyBit should continue allocating resources to make that podcast. And so that's a decision that the community can make now by being a registered voter on the DAO. We've got another question here: should we hire a dedicated social media marketer? So this is just another question that's quite suitable for the DAO to gain consensus from the users of the application and the network. And so yeah, so that's basically an example of what you're going to be voting on. Now, if you want to make a vote or make a proposition to which can be voted on in the same manner, you can head now to My Vote, or to New Vote, sorry, and just enter any question of that nature like we just discussed relating to the MyBit network and the potential direction it could go to. So this could be something like create a new application, and then maybe have more thoughts about the details of that. Now, along with these questions, we, as a community, DAO community, it's much easier that we require a larger, more detailed outline of each proposition, just to avoid any ambiguity, so that everybody knows exactly what they're voting for and can actually have more information about what it is you're proposing. So that can be done through a Reddit thread, which you can link within our ecosystem on Reddit. So that's the idea of having a question. Now there's an action section here, which is going to be related to more on-chain immutable actions that change infrastructure and code and things like that. So that's going to be a more vested process, and it's not really going to be something that is gained too much total control of the network until the DAO has been established as being working well and secure and things of that nature. And that's just to protect the network and the users who are using the network. So yeah, that's basically a overview of the entire process. There's other various features to the DAO, like there's an activity log here, so all of your activities will be logged for you. You can go through the system and different settings, and just to make sure that all of these different functionalities are here. They're often not required, but just for your knowledge, they are there. Now, so that basically sums it up here for the version 0.2 of the MyBit DAO. If you have any more questions or anything like that, please head over to the MyBit Reddit channel, where we have various different subreddits specific to the DAO and other discussion forums for the community of DAO users. So yeah, make sure you get over there and get involved, because we really appreciate the input of our innovative community, and really it's up to you guys to really contribute here and drive MyBit in the right direction. So thanks guys very much, and I'll catch you next time.